Alright, after being brutally roasted yesterday for my take on Diablo 2 Resurrected, in which I did not like some of the more nostalgic aspects of it that many people believe are core to the game, many people that are not me, I am here to switch topics and not talk about that anymore for now. I am headed into the Halo Infinite Technical Alpha for the first time. I know there was a previous test, but I missed sign up for it. And so now this is my first experience with the game, and I have been hopping in directly to matches. I have not played any bot matches or anything like that. I'm mostly just jumping into matches with other players for the first time, and I love it. I not to get completely the opposite of my last video, but in terms of the Halo Infinite flight, I am deeply, deeply impressed with this. I had heard obviously a lot of really great things about it, and yet I still kind of remain skeptical because I just haven't been all that interested in a 343 Halo game to this point. I did like Halo 5 multiplayer to a certain extent, but I still just kind of never really turned the corner on it, and I did not really like Halo 4 at all. Even I think at the end of Bungie's tenure, I didn't like Reach. Like Halo 3 is obviously many people's kind of glory days of the series, but so far from what I've experienced in the technical alpha, this is an incredibly good sort of back to basics format of the multiplayer, in which they have ditched almost anything I would consider a gimmick, and what new things they have added that could be a little gimmicky, like the grappling hook, I can't complain about. They're just fun. Like, they're just cool. They don't seem like they're trend chasing with those. They work with the flow of combat really well. For me personally, obviously, I play a lot of Destiny, and time to kill there is very, very, very low compared to Halo. And I actually found myself really enjoying the higher time to kill in Halo. Going back to that, I don't know if this is like the highest or lowest time to kill in Halo history. I don't, it's been so long since I played Halo 5. I don't remember kind of if it's up or down since then. But I do know a longer time to kill gives you a lot more space to kind of breathe and react and do potential things to outplay your opponents, whether you're weapon swapping or using movement or bouncing grenades correctly or all these different things, where even if you're ambushed a lot of the time, you could still, it's not like instant death. Like, you still have time to react to almost anything, unless you're getting just like sniper headshot where you turn a corner and there's a dude with a gravity hammer sitting there. There's a lot more kind of room to work around kind of creative combat solutions, and as a solo player, I think you can get yourself in situations where you can rack up like double and triple kills pretty cool ways, with the way the radar doesn't exactly telegraph where you are all the time like it does in Destiny, which I like. It's pretty close range, so you have to be really close to enemies to kind of know that they're there. So this allows for really good flanking opportunities. And the maps they have come out with here are really stellar. There's only a handful so far, but I really liked them. They are, generally speaking, kind of smaller in scale, and yet for 4v4 formatting, I think this works really well. I am extremely curious to try out Big Team Battle, which obviously is a kind of core mode to Halo, and so are vehicles, so we will see if kind of vehicles have gotten the same treatment as everything else. But I think what works the best is both kind of the stripped down to basics in terms of mobility, but also just how much work they have put into making sure how, like, these guns feeling amazing. Every weapon I've used, from the basic AR to the pistol to the battle rifle to the new, whatever the energy shotgun is, I don't know if that's new or not, but, rocket swords, gravity hammers, it has all been really fantastic. I think this is the best weapons have felt in an extremely long time, and then paired with sort of modern day sensibilities of this game looks and runs incredibly. And I've been playing on Series X back there. If I do have footage running for this, it will be from PC, and as I speak, I'm still downloading the PC version just to try and capture footage. So also, if I am terrible, it's because I've never played this on PC before, so we'll see how that goes. But I can't really get over what 343 has accomplished here, and like how much they have learned over kind of the course of the past two games, and how they have implemented that into multiplayer here. As I said in an article earlier today, I do still have concerns about Halo Infinite as kind of a whole package, where it seems to me like multiplayer is like ready to go like tomorrow. Whereas single player, we have still heard almost nothing about. We know very little about the campaign. The only thing we have seen from it in depth, that isn't just like a cutscene, is that really bad footage they showed off a year ago, which caused the game to be delayed. So in theory, this would be a great time at the end of September here, when the game comes out in early December, to start showing off actual campaign stuff. And it seems like they might be having some trouble with that whole side of the game, whereas multiplayer seems to be going very swimmingly. There have always been these kind of eternal debates about whether they would break the game in half and multiplayer would come out now and the campaign would come out later. They have said repeatedly they're not doing that, and yet I don't know if we can fully trust them not to make a last-minute switch just with all the craziness that's happened with this game, but I guess we'll see. I would love some sort of like campaign flight to kind of reassure me that that's going to go okay, but I think multiplayer does, in a lot of ways, indicate that the campaign could go well, because if combat feels this good here, I assume it will feel very good in single player too, because it's all the same weapons and things. So that gives me more faith about the project in general. I agree with everybody who's kind of saying that this is kind of the truest return to form for Halo since maybe Halo 3, which I feel like this has been said a lot. I feel like they said that about Halo 5 to a certain extent, and yet I feel that being more true here, just kind of with the going back to extreme basics that they haven't really done with other games. Like Halo 4, obviously they were kind of chasing Call of Duty a little bit, and then Halo 5 still had some, very kind of fundamental changes, like the boost dodges and things like that. So this is just a much more similar to Halo 3 version than anything we've seen before, and I have already seen some extremely wild clips of like some really good players kind of abusing the hell out of the new mobility mechanics in a fun way. Like I don't think the average player is going to be like Spider-Manning around the map, sniping headshots and things, but it's cool that you can do that, and I just keep finding new fun things, like the repulsor thing where you put your hand up and you rocket someone into a wall, and then you can shoot them. It's a lot of fun in that regard, and there's just very little that I don't think I've seen anything I dislike from the flight so far. Pretty much every single thing here I have enjoyed. We can see how monetization works, how the battle pass works, things like that. We're at kind of a season 0 battle pass right now, where there are unlocks that I don't think are going to carry over to the final game, but you can kind of see how that works with challenge progression. Some people were complaining about challenge progression instead of game XP, except I keep getting a daily quest that's just like finish 2 matches, and every time you finish 2 matches you get 100 XP, so that's essentially like match XP. And then the other things are like kill someone with a needler, win 3 games of whatever the territories game is, Stronghold. I still don't really understand how to play that game. I've won that game in blowouts every single time. Not really sure how, but I thought it was just like traditional capture kind of stuff, or like Control and Destiny, but I'm not exactly sure. Still have to figure that out, but I've been having a great time with this. I am doing somewhat better than I thought I would, having not played Halo in so long. There was some time I definitely needed to warm up. I keep thinking enemies are going to die sooner than they are, because I'm so used to Destiny time to kill, but you have to really empty your entire clip pretty much for most weapons, especially the AR, to get them to die. And then if I don't kill them, I've gone back to, quick pistol swapping and things like that. I have gone to doing charged plasma shots, because I think a lot of people forgot that exists, where you can just strip their shields instantly and then kind of insta-kill them. That's always fun. I feel like there's a lot of new Halo players here, because Halo 5 was a long time ago, and there's a new generation of kids coming up that have not really grown up with Halo, so I might have some advantage over them, but I obviously hopefully will improve in time and get a better KDA than I have now, which is still painfully low compared to what it could be. So anyway, I am having a really great time with this. There are 2 weekends of this now, and I think Big Team is limited to next weekend. They're only doing kind of select bursts of a few hours at a time. I don't know, some sort of... it seems a little odd with how limited the hours are for this, but if they're offline, you can play bot lobbies and stuff, which is what I might be doing now, since I don't think it opens up to 1 again. But I'm impressed, and this is... I was always curious about how Halo Infinite was going to go, but I was deeply skeptical of it. I remain somewhat skeptical about the campaign aspect of it, but this flight has certainly kind of put to bed any fears I may have had about the multiplayer. And I really only get hardcore into multiplayer games, like multiplayer combat games, if I have friends that are playing them. So hopefully I can get some of my real life friends to play this with me, because when I kind of burn out is when I'm just grinding it solo, and I don't find that as fun. But we'll see. This is a game I'm definitely going to recommend to my friends. Be like, no, Halo's good now, I promise. And we'll see what happens. But this early preview has been deeply satisfying and very impressive. And 343 has killed it. That's all I can really say at this point. So I'll test out the rest of the modes. I might play against some bots, see how that goes. And then a big team will be here next weekend, and I might have more thoughts then. But until then, it is probably back to my safe zone, Destiny, where no one will yell at me ever, and I can go back to my usual like-dislike ratio instead of getting drowned by Diablo fans. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.